Josh and Alex bring the fire, no doubt. Fun facts roaring, making headlines shout. Sports pro wrestling with a punch and a spin. Warrior fuel coursing through their skin. Headlines screaming hot off the press. Facts and figures they never second guess. Cutting through the noise, sharp as a knife. Trax news, it's more than just life. Trax coming at you full speed, no brakes. Horror in action, they're raising the stakes. Jumping just as yup, you don't wanna miss. Tony laughs hard, this is pure bliss. Trax ready, set, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Trax News. I'm Josh with my co-host Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello, I'm with him as always.
Yeah, our first appearance, as always.
His loyal stooge.
See, I knew you should have been the one to start it. You got a better voice for it.
I'm the Pat Patterson of Trax News, the Gerald Briscoe.
I'm the Lord Alfred Hayes. I'll just agree politely with everything you say.
Man, Lord Alfred Hayes. Now there's a name from the past. If you ever get a chance, Josh, you should get on the WWE Network and watch some of those Tuesday Night Titan episodes that they have from like the early 80s. Hulk Hogan shows up and Vince McMahon and him are using python powder, which is just like protein. And instead of like...
I've heard, Lord Alfred Hayes didn't need python powder.
Oh, you think he was using coke? Cocaine?
Oh, no. He put a lot of men to shame in the locker room. Let's say it that way. There's some stories about Lord Alfred Hayes and his own personal python, and it wasn't on his arms.
So he was the first Jake to stay. So was his personal python called Damien?
I guess so. Yeah, Google that. It's a true thing. Like,
okay.
A lot of wrestlers talk about that he put them to shame.
What the hell? So what I was saying before you brought up how massive Lord Alfred Hayes' python was. On the Tuesday Night Titan episodes on the WWE Network, which is on Peacock now, Hogan's like making python powder drinks, and instead of like, he just cracks raw eggs with the shell into the into the drink, and he just slams it, and then Lord Alfred Hayes like does his little British thing, and then drinks it, and then just pukes all over the set. It's TV gold. It's great.
Did you see that Hogan was trending today?
For what? Is he dead?
No, he's anti-vax, and I figured he'd be the last person to be afraid of a needle. But that's just my opinion.
He took all of his steroids one or two times under doctor's supervision, and it was a pill form. He said it all on the Arsenio Hall show 30 years ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And he's never lied about anything in his life.
He was supposed to be in Metallica.
Brother.
Yeah, he was also, what other crazies? Oh, yeah, he was actually supposed to turn heel at WrestleMania 6.
Oh my God, I was about to say that. That's what I was going to say after whatever you were going to say. That was the story. That was his plan.
Yeah, he wanted to start the NWO 20 years before Eric Bischoff stole the idea from New Japan Wrestling, when Hogan had no idea that it was even a thing.
So many stories.
Well, speaking of stories, Josh, I know you're excited about the very first episode of the Trax News, and it almost feels like we were just doing Good Times, season 2, episode 1. But yeah, that's a thing of the past. And Josh, we've moved on. Good Times is no more. The defunct podcast, Good Times with Alex and Ryan, is no more. But you can still find it on all the places you find your favorite podcasts. Still there. Old times. Past times. Reminiscing times. Anyway, it's over. This is the new. And Josh, keeping up with old times a little bit, we're going to get into some fun facts.
Okay.
So this is the very first fun facts section of Trax News. Josh, I'm starting out hot. Most of the insect noises that you hear at night are either insects having sex or insects trying to have sex. What are your thoughts?
They're basically yelling, "Keep it down." You know, I'm trying to get it on over here. Is that what's going on?
Well, they're probably like they're peacocking, but they have to talk or rub their legs together like crickets, I guess. I just think it's funny that, oh, it's so romantic out here. What do you think, darling? It's like, oh, you can hear the birds chirping and the insects, you know, whatever. But it's just the insects, you know, getting three-weight or getting mowed down on.
Having cricket orgies out there, you know. You live out in the country, it's like, damn.
Maybe Jiminy Cricket and all those Disney shows, Pinocchio wasn't actually talking to him. He was just interpreting Jiminy Cricket, trying to get it on. Boy, that changes things when you think of Pinocchio's nose growing.
Right? You know, Jiminy Cricket just masturbating in his ear or whatever.
Man, shit got dark real quick there. First episode, first fun fact, first segment canceled. Done. Show's over. All right, so check this out. In one of the SpiderMAN comic series, so one of the, you know, there's the Amazing Spider-Man, there's all these different Spider-Man iterations, right? Well, in one of the Spider-Man comic book series iterations, Mary Jane Watson actually dies of cancer that was brought on by exposure to Peter Parker's radioactive semen.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he knew any, like, sailors.
What?
I didn't know he knew any sailors.
What the hell does he need to know a sailor for if he's got radioactive semen because he got bit by a radioactive spider?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he knew a bunch of radioactive sailors or something, seamen.
Oh God. Yeah. And the dad joke of the night goes to the hippie.
No, it's funny you brought that up because it's DC did something. It wasn't Superman's radioactive semen that killed Lex Luthor in one, but it was Lex Luthor wearing the kryptonite ring for so long that he died of cancer in one of the Superman universes.
Dude, I thought so. When you said, yeah, funny you brought that up, Alex, because I was also thinking about Spider-Man's ejaculate today. No, when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, where's he going?
Actually come out in the comic and say that's what gave her cancer? Like, did the doctor say, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Peter, you know, but your Peter has killed Mary? I mean, how did it get...
I don't know. I never read it. I just, but I can only imagine that, like, if she developed skin cancer, it'd be like on the small of her back, you know, maybe on her neckline, or maybe her, you know, her tees, you know,
just a few splotches on her face.
Oh man. Anyway, Mary Jane, I had a hell of a day. The Vulture was up my ass all day. Freaking Hobgoblin was just pumpkin bombing the shit out of me. Take those clothes off, and I'm gonna blow a radioactive load all over
Spider
you.
Load.
A spider. Yeah, does his semen spider web out of, like,
Right.
Is it a web shooter from his penis?
Look up a Misty Mundane film called, I don't know if you know who Misty Mundane is, but look up, it's called Spider Babe, I think. And it's one of those, she was a softcore porn actress that did like the Lord of the G-Strings and shit like that. And in Spider Babe, that's how she shoots the webs, is out of herself.
From her
crotch.
Wait, so does she? So she's only able to shoot the webs out of herself when she achieves climax? Is that?
I'm not
or
sure.
Or she just do it at will?
I'm not sure how it works, but she can do it at will, I think. So.
Well, you'd know if she was faking if it was only happening when she achieved an orgasm. It's like, I know you're faking. You
gotta catch that villain. Come here, stranger.
You didn't shoot spider webs all over my cock this time. I know you're full of it. Oh, no, I did, totally. No, totally. Nah, my dick should look like a silly string attack. You're a liar.
So we've got spiderweb ejaculate and masturbating cricket consciences. So yeah, consciences. Yeah.
Hey, just some excellent fun facts tonight.
Right.
Let's get into something a little less sexual for the next fun fact.
You just wait and see. I'll find something.
All right, Josh, it's possible to faint and even die from pooping too hard. It's a rare condition called defecation syncopsis. Defecation syncopsis.
Like give yourself a stroke?
Well, if you're pushing too hard, or sometimes, yeah, I've had situations where it's like you have to go to the bathroom and you try, but you can't, and you push a little bit too hard. I mean, that's probably how hernias start, right? Your intestine slips through whatever.
Yeah. I had a hernia as a teenager from lifting weights in football. That's not very fun. It's your muscle wall ripping, and so yeah, I could see that happening. But I actually know somebody that died. I'm not going to say any names. Somebody that died on the toilet from that for that reason.
Elvis Presley died on the toilet, but he had a twisted bowel. He didn't die from. I think when you have a twisted bowel, you can't poop at all.
I think he had a twisted bowel from all the pelvic shaking, like back and forth. He just twisted it up, tied it in knots over the years.
Dude, I watched a biography on Elvis, like the last 24 hours of Elvis. I guess he went to the dentist the night he died, and he got a bunch of pain pills and stuff, and he went to the dentist at I'm serious, midnight or something, and then he was working out and playing piano and playing tennis. He was doing a bunch of crazy stuff because he was going to go on tour soon. He was supporting the entire Memphis Mafia, which was basically all of his friends and family that lived at his compound in Graceland. So the guy's got all this stress, can't poop. He's got a twisted bowel. So he dropped dead he died on the toilet. But I think the most stressful situation would have been the dentist. Can you imagine being Elvis's dentist and he's like, hey man, I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but my tooth is killing me, man. Can you open them offices, dude? It's and then you're his dentist and you're like, well, shit, I'm in bed right now, but you got to open your freaking offices because Elvis wants to have his teeth cleaned or something. You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
I got a little peanut butter and banana stuck in there. Yeah.
I got a little bit of fried peanut butter and banana in my lower lateral incisor. I'm gonna need you to clean that out. Man, seriously, just a bad situation for the dentist, bad situation for the Memphis Mafia, have to drive his fat ass over there to the dentist at 2 o'clock in the morning. Bad situation for Elvis because he died that morning on the shitter. Yeah, just bad situation overall for Elvis.
A little Trax news Elvis recommendation. If you've never seen Drunk History, seek out the episode of Drunk History about Elvis becoming a special investigator through the White House.
For Nixon?
Yeah, Jack Black plays him, I believe, in that episode. It's pretty good shit.
Elvis, can't believe we're going down this Elvis wormhole, but apparently, wasn't he a black belt?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure somebody just said, yeah, okay, yeah, you're a black belt, Elvis. Here's your paperwork. Here's your belts.
Elvis, Elvis, this is totally legit. You're totally a black belt. This isn't a belt from a robe or anything. This is the real deal. And give me the concert tickets and the backstage passes, and it's done. You're a black belt.
He's like, am I the best black belt in history? And all of a sudden, some guy behind him's like, no, I'm the best black belt in history, okay? No one's ever seen a black belt as great as me before. All right?
Dude, you just got to get your Trump dig in everything we do, don't you? You got to nail him at least once. All right, last fun fact of the very first Trax news. All right. Facebook actually offered graffiti artist David Chloe $60,000 to paint murals in their offices in 2005.
Okay.
So instead of accepting the one-time $60,000 payment, David Chloe decided to accept stock. So he took stock instead. The stock is actually valued at more than $200 million today.
Wow. That's a smart call.
Smart investment. Could have went either way, to be honest with you. Facebook, at the time, 2005, I think MySpace was still.
Yeah, MySpace could have crushed them. You never know. In an alternate universe, MySpace, Tom is still everybody's number one friend.
Tom, speaking of Tom from MySpace, who was in everybody's top 8 to begin with, Tom actually sold MySpace. And it became like a multi-millionaire from selling it. MySpace, he got out of that before MySpace completely went down the shitter, because I think if you even try to look at any MySpace profile before like 2007, it's just gone. It's erased. It doesn't exist. It's like a music and multimedia platform website now. Yeah, it's not even a social media at all. I was gonna say MySpace. I'm a nerd, and this is the only reason I know this. MySpace had an issue with the servers or whatever they had running the actual program. Once they got so many users, it started to really, really bog down and slow down. So they weren't actually able to keep up like with the technology that they had. It grew to be too big, and they didn't have the technology to like keep up with it. That was one of the big downfalls of it. They had like inferior servers and technology running it to begin with. So it was like whoever bought MySpace from Tom should have did some more research, because he totally screwed himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he got out when the getting was good. He avoided being crushed completely.
Totally. So hey, Josh and Alex, we salute whoever bought MySpace from, or to Tom, excuse me. The guy who bought it from Tom's an idiot. He's the Trax News shitter of the week. Track smart investment of the week. Facebook guy who painted the mural, and Tom from MySpace who sold MySpace.
Since we're on a social media thing here, this is not going political. This is just true news. This really happened.
What Trump thing are you bringing up now, Josh?
Donald Trump made his own Twitter, pretty much, because he got kicked off of Twitter. So he had to make his own. It's called Truth Social. And did you know, within like 2 days of a pre-launch of his website, it was hacked. A giant turd was made for his picture on his profile.
For his avatar?
Yeah, it was hacked immediately. Everybody who had signed up ahead of time, their information was hacked. It turns out he was using like a basic layout for a social media website. Things that a lot of tech companies use just to, make little presentations of what a site could look like. It's pretty much just what's the word I'm looking for here? When something's already made out completely for you.
Like a template?
It's like a template. It was pretty much a template, and he was trying to call it original, that it was designed by his people and everything, and he's just using the template without giving them recognition like you're supposed to if you use it. It was really, really amateurish. It was hacked within a couple hours, and it's not looking like it's gonna ever make it. True story. This was back like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Within 2 hours, it was hacked.
Well, Trump, and I'm not getting political or anything since you brought him up. Trump has a history of not doing things on the level anyway. Didn't he when he was building his empire with all of his buildings and stuff, didn't he hire a bunch of contractors and people to build things for him, and he just never paid them? Yeah,
he's doing that with his lawyers now. He's not paying his lawyers after they helped him or tried to help him with his stuff. Not going to get into that stuff.
Josh, how do you have $1 billion and not pay somebody? Can't be he just doesn't want to pay them because he's a dick, right? I mean, how could it be any other reason than that?
Well, one of the biggest things that's getting him in trouble right now is he inflates his value of his properties and stuff to make himself look good in magazines, and then when it's time to pay taxes on it, he deflates it to nothing. He'll say something's like a $500 million property when he's bragging, and then when it's time for taxes, it's $5 million. It's worth $5 million.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, the Truth Social, it was hacked, and it was supposed to be a place where freedom of speech reigns supreme. But one of the top terms of service was you can't criticize Trump on the platform, and you can't criticize his website or the people that made the website. So, freedom of speech, unless you're going to hurt my feelings, then no, you're going to go to the corner, go away.
Well, when if he was the one designing Truth Social, I wonder if he made a mistake by picking the template. Maybe he picked the wrong thing because he had grease all over his hands from the KFC chicken he was eating, and he accidentally his hand slipped on the keyboard, and he accidentally chose the wrong, template to rip off.
The picture I saw was Twitter, but instead of tweets, it was called truths, and instead of retweets, it was retruths. And I was like, well, hey, that's something he's familiar with, retruths. You take the truth, and then you just redo it to make it your own truth, and you got a retruth.
That's like
we're talking about MySpace and Facebook. That was a real social media launch that was hacked within like 2 hours. So /Trackaholics. That's the social media site launch that nobody heard of and nobody asked for. I didn't even know it happened. So that's how big of a deal it was. Story. What else for us?
Well, fun facts are done. All right, we're gonna move into your favorite section of because when you think /Tracks and you think horror theme stuff, the very first thing I think of is sports. Okay,
oh, yeah, definitely.
So I've got two really quick and funny sports stories. Since we're not a sports show, but we're news, and this is newsworthy. And damn it, I'm gonna tell you about it.
We're gonna do the weather. It's cold. Damn.
Damn cold. Button up. It's cold out there. Shit. All right. So, here's a little backstory about me if you guys don't know. I used to be the fantasy sports expert for a Fox Sports radio affiliate in Eugene, Oregon. So Fox Sports Eugene, for about 2 or 3 years, I was the fantasy sports expert. Okay. So last weekend, I was in the fantasy football championship game, and I had started a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers named Antonio Brown, okay? He's a pretty good football player. He's one of the best ever at that position. And there was a couple other wide receivers on that team that were out, which means Tom Brady's going to be throwing the football to him a lot because all the other guys are injured, right? So Antonio Brown's probably going to get a lot of targets. I'm in the championship. I'm playing for, I think first place got paid out like $150. So if I win, I get $150. If I lose, I get 70. So I'm getting something, but I want to win. I want the trophy, whatever. Halftime rolls around at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, and the third quarter starts, and I got a text message from my friend Mike, and he says, hey, did you see what Antonio Brown just did? And I said, no, I didn't see that. What happened? And Josh, he says, well, Antonio Brown just stripped down to his underwear, took his entire uniform off, threw it in the crowd, threw up the double peace signs, and sprinted through the tunnel and quit the team and the game.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was screwing with me because I was in the championship, and he was like just making something up, completely making it up. So I go to Twitter. I type in Antonio Brown. It's trending immediately. The very first thing that pops up is Antonio Brown in his boxers in front of the crowd, giving the peace sign. He's gone. He quit.
Wow.
Dude, I've never seen anything like this before in my life, dude. This guy quit on his team in the middle of the game, man. Naked, like down to his underwear, goes through the tunnel. Like he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble. He's gone.
Like the ultimate bushwhacker or whatever.
Yeah. Bushwhacker Luke, gone. Like, I'm serious. I've never seen this before. If you guys who are listening to this or watching it don't know anything about sports, do yourself a favor and look up Antonio Brown quits mid-game. It's hilarious. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Just absurd. Totally ridiculous.
Look that up. That's hilarious.
The aftermath of this story, I guess, Bruce Arians is the head coach for the Buccaneers, and he's like, well, Antonio Brown refused to go in the game. And then Antonio Brown later on is claiming that he had an ankle injury that the Bucs were covering up. So nobody knows what's the truth. But one thing we do know is that Antonio Brown stripped and quit. So that we know that for a fact.
I'm gonna have to retruth that story now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retruth it. I mean, and if that site isn't working and up like Donald Trump planned, go to Twitter and retweet it from my account, please.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Will do.
All right. Second and last Trax news sports story of the night. Jaguars former head coach Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer used to be the coach of the University of Florida, and also Ohio State, and he's won multiple national championships. He's a really good college football coach. He wasn't a very good pro coach, though. Okay, so he got hired by the Khan family, who own the Jacksonville Jaguars. They also own AEW Wrestling. Okay, so that's, if you guys know the Khan family, that's who they are. They hired Urban Meyer to be the coach. Okay, horrible coach this year. They might have won 2 games. Okay, out of like 17. So I've never seen this before. The day after the Jacksonville Jaguars fired Urban Meyer, the Jaguars' chances of winning their next game actually improved in Vegas.
Wow.
Before he was fired, the Jaguars were actually favored to win by 3.5 points. After the Jaguars fired him, they were favored to win by 4.5 points.
Wow.
You're telling me that he's so shitty as a coach that Vegas is like, he's going to fuck something up on the sideline. If he's not there, then, that's one less thing that's going to happen to these poor Jaguars, in the Khan family.
Now they're taking into account players just stopping and stripping halfway through the game and leaving. So.
I should have won the football championship just based on that, because it's never happened before. I should have got like the triple bonus multiplier for that, dude. That's never going to happen again.
Hey, can I bring up a little sports story that has to do with wrestling and sports?
Yes, but I want to finish one more note on that.
Go ahead.
I wanted to win the championship really bad because I wanted, even after he did that, because I wanted to be the only person to say, I won a championship in fantasy football even after one of my wide receivers stripped naked and quit at halftime. All right, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking of how, Vince McMahon, the original XFL run, was such a flop and everything. And then a couple years ago, he rebuilt the brand and had like a really good plan in place,
Yeah.
And it was set to succeed. And then he launched it, during COVID, like the first year.
A month before COVID.
You think it would have succeeded this time? It looked like it was on course to do better.
You know what's funny about that? That was like right when I first started working in the office at Fox Sports Eugene, and I remember we talked about that quite a bit on air. And Vince had it wasn't gimmicky this time. He wasn't having Jim Ross and Jesse the Body coming out there interviewing cheerleaders, like doing locker room interviews after they just lost and sticking a microphone in their face. Like, you know how wrestling, like they weren't exploiting. It was like they were trying to have actually decent football, and the ratings were actually really good. And they were able to sustain a certain, Nielsen rating throughout until they folded again. But do I think it was going to succeed? Yes, I do. He totally got screwed.
About killed Vince, though. He finally got it right, and it just happened to be during a worldwide pandemic that just shut him down again. You think there's going to be a third attempt ever?
You didn't see that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, bought the XFL?
Oh no, I didn't know that. Okay.
He bought it. Vince McMahon filed for bankruptcy protection from the XFL, with COVID and everything. So Dwayne Johnson led a group of investors to purchase it out of bankruptcy court, and The Rock actually owns the XFL now.
Okay, cool.
How ironic is it that The Rock owns the? By the way, I think it's really funny that The Rock. I don't think it's funny. I mean, he's like the biggest movie star in the world. He always talks about how he had $7 in his pocket and all this stuff. The WWF, when his first run ended and he was going to Hollywood, do you remember hearing the story about how like the WWF office or the WWE office just like let his contract lapse? Like they didn't even like approach him about his contract that was coming up to expire. Did you ever hear that story?
Something like that, yeah.
How in the hell do you let a talent like The Rock's contract lapse without even having a conversation with him about renewing it?
I think it's because of the Hollywood thing just pissed Vince off, and that led to Vince starting up the WWE films, so he could, if his wrestlers were going to go make movies, by God, they'd make them for me.
If they're going to go make movies, they're going to make shitty movies for me, pal. And they're going to make Marine 7. They're going to make Marine 8 and 9. They're going to make Hear No Evil 12, starring John Morrison, Kane, and The Miz, and Eva Marie. God, man, some of those WWE movies, man.
Some were fun. The reunion was fun.
Which one?
The reunion.
I haven't seen that one.
John Rappaport, John Cena, and oh my God, who's that guy that was in Can't Hardly Wait? The main dude in that.
Ethan Embry?
Yeah, he was in it.
Preston?
Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Anyways, I digress. So that's.
Dude, one of the best WWE movies that I saw. I don't even think it was a WWE movie, to be honest with you. There was this one. It was called. I think it actually was a WWE movie, but maybe made from WWE.
12 Rounds 3.
No, starring Randy Orton. No, no, it was called Legendary. Like John Cena was like a troubled guy, and his little brother wanted to start wrestling to get to know his older brother, and they had like lost their father, who was like John Cena's wrestling coach, and like John Cena's mom like blamed him for the father's death because the dad was like driving John Cena to a wrestling meet or something. Did you see that movie?
I haven't seen that one. No.
It's definitely worth your time to watch. It's really inspirational. So if you haven't seen Legendary, WWE Films Legendary, starring John Cena, go check it out. That's Alex's /Trax recommendation of the evening.
And I recommend The Reunion or 12 Rounds 3.
12. I think 12 rounds.
Christian.
Yeah, 12 rounds. Yeah, right. Every time he kills somebody, he comes out with Gangrel to the Brood's 1999 theme song.
Edge is kind of rocking a brutish look these days.
They play the Brood music now.
Oh, wow, okay.
They can't even do the bloodbath anymore. They call it, I'm not even joking, I think they call it, it's a plasma bath. I'm serious. They don't call it a bloodbath because they don't want to offend anybody because they're a publicly traded company.
Oh, my God.
I'm serious. They don't even call it a bloodbath.
If you want to see wrestling, go watch AEW.
WWE sucks.
The only thing that saves the WWE is the women's division. They are kicking ass these days, and they should have their own show.
Yeah, but they've already, like, you know how many women they've let go? They've let go so many men and women recently that I'm surprised they even have enough people to put 2 shows on anymore.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the past 10 years, for me, the women's division was what was keeping them afloat, in my opinion. They had all the talent there. And they were too busy trying to shove like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins down everybody's throat. And, Seth Rollins is out there ending careers.
You talking about when he buckle bombed Sting? Is that what you're talking about?
You don't do that to somebody like Sting at that age. I mean, that's just stupid. And twice, it just...
It was a buckle bomb, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he screwed... And Sting is back wrestling again in AEW.
61 years old.
You know what? When he has his makeup on and his hair is dyed and slicked back, he looks exactly like he did on WCW.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
so I wish we could have got the Taker Sting match though. That would have been.
Yeah, they never. First, Undertaker even admitted it himself though. He's like, yeah, that match was like 10 years. Should have happened 10 years prior.
They could have done like he did at WrestleMania a couple years ago,
cinematic.
Like a graveyard match or something.
They could have did a cinematic match.
Yeah, they still can. It could happen.
No, it's not, because Sting is not leaving AEW because AEW
is done.
Dude, they're on TBS now. Like AEW basically is basically like WCW reborn.
Yeah, I love it. I like that there's an actual secondary show other than TNA or whatever the hell it's called now.
Impact?
Yeah.
There's also NWA. Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins lead singer, owns NWA.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was airing on TV or anything.
Dude, it's like not. They're like, you can find them about as easily as you find episodes of Slash Tracks News.
Okay.
Let's get into a new fun topic. Let's actually talk about since we're a news program, all right? This is where you want to get your news from, all right? Slash Tracks News. Let's talk about what's going on in the horror genre right now.
We're not going to get hit with like an ad at some point here, are we?
We might. There might. You know what? And if we were going to get hit with an ad, right now might be the perfect time. But before we get into horror news right now, let's do a little bit of business, a little house cleaning.
Okay.
What book, Josh, have you recently uploaded to the channel, and what book are you currently working on and reading on the channel right now?
I just recently finished and uploaded the unabridged version of a fan novelization of Friday the 13th Part 4 by Landon Turner. I thought it was just as good as the Simon Hawke novelizations. He really did a good job with that. And if he would write, or if somebody would write novelizations for Friday the 13th, 5, 6, 7, 8, Jason Goes to Hell, I'd narrate those two. I wasn't sure going into it, but it was really good for a fan novelization, and a lot of people appreciated that he did that. And I just started out 2 books. One is Final Destination, Destination Zero by David McKenty. It's one of the Black Flame original Final Destination books from 2005 and 2006. And it actually, part of it ties to Jack the Ripper. So I'm looking forward to getting into that one.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And on Patreon, little shameless plug here, you can get early access to Freddy Krueger's Tales of Terror, Fatal Games by Bruce.
I love those Freddy Krueger Tales of Terror books that you do. Those are great.
The 2 I got left they weren't written by David Bergantino. They were the first 2. A guy that got fired and replaced with David Bergantino. But yeah, on Patreon you can get early access to that one. I just put out the first 3 chapters.
Nice.
It'll be on Patreon for 2 weeks, and then it'll drop on YouTube. Then the next set of chapters will be on Patreon for 2 weeks, and you can get it before people on YouTube do. You can sign up for as low as $1 a month. Patreon.com/80slasherlibrarian.
So $1 a month for that tier, Josh will actually, instead of sending you a middle finger emoji, he'll actually flip you off directly in a DM for $1. That's what you get.
Yep.
That's the $1 tier. The $5 tier, which I am a member of, Josh just kind of bitches and moans about his financial issues and kind of guilts you for not being. You don't actually get anything. You don't get flipped off for the $5 tier.
No, you can just get told how much you ought to be a $10, $15 patron.
Yeah. You get to, like, you get guilted and shamed and led down the $10 tier, which is actually where you want to be, guys. So
no, the $10 tier is where we strip you naked, walk you through the streets, shouting shame, until you become a $15 patron.
And then that's where, and ladies and gentlemen, that's where the real action starts to begin for the Patreon tier for the 80 Slasher Librarian YouTube channel. So check out that $15 Patreon tier. I was going to say, so all right, so we did the business, we got that out of the way. Horror movie news. We don't even really need stories for this one because Scream 5. It's not even called Scream 5, it's called Scream. So they have the 5 in the name Scream.
Oh,
It's going to be released in theaters this Thursday. I'm pretty excited. Josh, are you excited about this?
No, not really, Alex.
What?
I gotta say. I'm not excited about this movie.
Why?
Because there's only 2 ways this movie's going to make me happy, and that's either Sydney is the killer in the end, or Sydney, David, or Courtney are killed off in the cold open, because every Scream movie has a cold open, and somebody dies, and then Cotton Weary was part 3, and then the Scream logo pops up and the movie starts. Other than that, what is left to be told unless Stu somehow survived the first movie and he's back to, finish the killing? I don't know. What am I going to be? Oh, Yeah, Courtney had a baby. She put it up for or not Courtney. Sydney had a baby, put it up for adoption, and it grew up mad, and now is coming to kill her mom. I mean, what do we got left? She can't have another sibling. I mean,
don't bring up the sibling, because we were talking before we even started the episode tonight. That was the shittiest reveal ever. Scream 3. It's like, here's Roman Bridger. Like, for some reason, here's Sydney's half brother that you didn't know about, who looks like Jared Fogle from Subway fame, infamy. For some reason,
that whole movie, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be Lance Henriksen. He's playing himself, right? That's, it's going to be him. He's going to be the killer.
Oh, dude. So we're talking about Scream 3 real quick. So they have this idiot, Roman Bridger, be the killer, who's her half brother or whatever. But apparently, Neve Campbell only had 3 weeks to shoot Scream 3 because she was drowning Mona, and she was like had another TV show. Might have been Party of Five. She had a bunch of stuff going on. Okay, so instead of filming the movie the way it was written, they started doing a bunch of rewrites and refilming stuff. So if you watch Scream 3. If you want to talk about Friday the 13th, where Jason teleports and stuff, there's only one killer in Scream 3. He can teleport in that film because there were supposed to be 2 killers in that movie, but they rewrote it to fit Neve Campbell's shooting time, right? So that movie is a mess. And there's a bunch, like the guy who wrote Kevin Williams
was supposed to be the other killer, right?
Yeah, the guy. Okay, the guy, I can't remember if Kevin Williamson wrote Scream 3. He might have just been a producer or like got an executive producer credit, whatever. Whoever wrote it has admitted that he didn't understand the Big Three's characters. So when he was writing, he didn't even know how to write for them.
Yeah.
That's why that movie's all over the place. And Courtney Cox had stress over the whole situation, so she cut her bangs really bad. That was stress cutting, what she did to her bangs in that film.
Not that kind of cutting's okay. Just cut the hair. But
so you're not excited for Scream 5 to come out? I couldn't feel any more differently than you. I think it's going to be good. The one thing that I'm concerned about is if they do have Stu come back, Matthew Lillard, and be the killer, like he had a TV from like 1987 dropped on his head. He better have scars. He better be just absolutely fucked up looking, number one. And number two, if he did survive the TV dropping on his head, how the hell is he out of jail? I mean, he killed like 10 people in the first movie. How to get out? Yeah.
And they've even talked about him being dead in the other movies and the sequels and stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're going to have to do something crazy with this, because if it's just some crazy internet fanboy of the shit that happened that's killing people, it's just going to be redundant. Part 4 was redundant. There was no reason for a Scream. There was no reason for a Scream 3, in my opinion.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Money.
Well, yeah, that's always the reason. But you're going to have to tell me, if you tell me, Josh, Scream 5, I went and saw it, it was completely predictable, I'm just not going to watch it. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to... You think I'm going to try to spoil something for you? I remember when I was watching Zombieland 2, and I was like, hey, Josh, I'm watching Zombieland 2, and before I could even finish the O on the 2, you're like, shut up, don't tell me nothing, shut up, I haven't seen it yet, shut up. Like I'm not the guy who's going to spoil something for you. You freak out.
They made that very predictable, Zombieland 2. They set up that whole ending, how they were going to defeat the zombies at the end.
Yeah.
It was still fun. I think it was just as good as like Child's Play 2 or Hellraiser 2. The movies that have part 2s are better. There's a lot of those. Child's Play 2 is one.
The best.
What's another movie back then? Part 2 was better.
Terminator 2.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Like hands down. Here's one that wasn't better.
Halloween.
Predator 2. Danny
Get
Glover.
Too old for this shit.
They're like, let's take the guy from Lethal Weapon who's about to retire and put him against the Predator.
There you go.
What the hell?
So what would you think if you went into Scream 5 and
you mean when not what if when I go into Scream 5. Okay.
Here's how I would pitch Scream 5 if I was writing it, but I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not trying to act like I have any fucking good ideas or anything, but here's how I would do it.
Okay.
I would write it where at the end, Sydney does the reveal. She's the killer, you know. Maybe she's about to kill Courtney or something. And it's like, don't you understand? I have to kill you. You know, dude was right. I cannot think of Jamie Kennedy character's name for the life of me right now. It's been so long since I saw Scream. What was his name in
Randy.
Scream? Randy. You know, Randy said it all back then. It's a movie. Don't you understand? That's why this keeps happening. I have to kill all the characters or they're going to reboot it. You know, the reboot's going to happen. The only way, I'm saving everybody by killing everybody. It's the only way to end it. You know, like kill the franchise. Like she totally snaps, goes into like Randy's whole explanation of everything like it's a real film series happening, you know, with sequels and trilogies and all that. And she's, you know, finally realizes that until she kills off all the characters, there's no peace. It's going to keep happening. So, kind of meta. She meta snaps.
I don't want to see that happen because I think that would basically be like, she's been the heroine, like the Scream Queen of the entire franchise. We're at number 5 now. If you all of a sudden... I went on this ride with her for 4 films. I'm not going on the 5th ride and want her to be revealed as the killer. I'm sorry. I don't agree with you. You're wrong.
How would she not go crazy by now? Her whole life she has been like, it's worse. It's like Laurie Strode times 10.
Yeah, but Laurie Strode didn't become the killer in the third Spider-Verse version of Laurie Strode's life.
Or did she? No, she didn't.
Yeah, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen the new Spider-Man, have you seen the new Spider-Man?
Not yet, no.
Okay, well, never mind. Can't even do spoiler alert. Because if I spoil anything for Josh, he's going to throw a fit. In case Josh hasn't seen, you know, social media or a newspaper in the last freaking month.
I'll still watch it. Go ahead, because I haven't even seen the first Spider-Man yet.
All right,
so.
Spoiler alert. So stop right now if you don't want to hear what happens in the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home. All 3 Spider-Men, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Mr. Holland, are in the film, right? So I think, since we're talking about this ridiculous thing Josh is talking about, they ought to have a Halloween No Way Home where they have all 3 different Laurie Strode timelines meet each other. They got the one who's, you know, from the Halloween Kills. They got the one from the original, and then they got the H2O Laurie.
Then there's like just a dead corpse. One pops up from a car wreck from part 4.
Oh, no.
Halloween 4 just...
Hey, we got the dead one. We got the dead Laurie from Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection, where she's killing Mini Michael on the roof, right? And then she kisses him. And if you guys haven't seen that episode of Slash Trax episode number 22, the Halloween special, Halloween Resurrection,
we do a great riff.
Yeah.
Halloween Resurrection. You
go
guys.
Straight to that episode after this Slash Trax news and check it out because
be sure to click the link in the description of that video so you can, you know, see the episode with the full movie included.
Yeah, because we just destroy that movie, and in particular, Michael Myers as just a character in that film, because that's the worst Michael Myers they've ever had in the franchise, in my opinion.
And talking about short killers, check out the latest episode of Slash Trax, where we went to task on Child's Play 3 and roasted it.
Yeah, and speaking of roasting things, no, I don't have anything else.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking.
I've got a bag of Stay Puft marshmallows.
And speaking of Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, check out the episode number 3 of Getting Sidetracked with Josh and Alex, where we interview Ira Hayden, where he talks about his role in Ghostbusters Afterlife, where he is the voice of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Men.
Speaking of Hayden, if you like early 2000s WWF, check out Heidenreich,
where he teamed with Animal, and they won the tag team titles, and they were mismatched, and it made no sense, but they got to play the LOD theme, so the crowd would pop anyway.
And if you want to hear about no sense, just look at... Okay, I'm good. Go ahead.
Hey, so any final thoughts on Scream 5 coming up?
I just hope that one of the main 3 die, Preferably not David Arquette. I would like to see Dewey survive till the end, but Courtney, I think it's time for her to either die or be the killer. Die or snap. And I just hope it's not overly predictable or overly redundant like part 4.
I'm excited because it's just a new. I'm a fan of the Scream franchise. Not 3. I mean, but three's good. It's like a Nightmare on Elm Street film. It's like they're not. Some of them aren't great, but they're all good. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't want Neve Campbell to be the killer. I wouldn't mind if Courtney Cox died.
What if Sydney died at the end, saving everybody?
I kind of think that's what's going to happen. I think they're definitely going to kill her off, in my opinion. I think, what else can you do with her character?
Yeah. And how's she going to move on after this, you know? She's already afraid to, like, date anybody or be friends with anybody because, you know, eventually they're going to, like, start killing people.
Well, I was, like, before we finish this topic, I was, Scream 3, like, she's in hiding or whatever, and they want to, like, the killer wants to start killing people, or maybe this was a treatment, but the killer wanted to lure her out of hiding. Like when they killed Cotton Weary, they wanted to find out where she was because she's in hiding, right? So the killer's idea is like, well, she's in hiding because she doesn't want to get killed, so I'm going to start killing people to lure her out of hiding from wanting to be killed. That's a major plot hole. That didn't even make sense to me when I heard that.
Right. Well, earlier I was going to tell you, I think the original treatment for that movie, the second killer was going to be that actress that was playing Sydney in the movie that they were making.
Yeah, you're right.
She was going to be the second killer. There's actual scenes where it's obvious that was the plan, you know. I think she even, like, has a really glossed over death or something, or it's off camera, or it's really quick. It's you could tell it was, like, added when they were trying to rush through it. But yeah, there's a lot of scenes that show you it was going to be her as the second killer.
She was definitely that, and absolutely. But she was so inconsequential once they changed it that I don't even remember her character's real name.
Yeah,
she's the fake Sydney. I have no idea. So yeah, Scream 3, go fuck yourself. Please be better than. Yeah, Scream 4, you're all right. Scream 5, don't be like Scream 3. And with that, let's move into the last. Let's move into the last thing of the night. Let's go to Trax news headlines.
Okay. Headlines.
Yeah, headline. All right. What? So check this one. Turkish Islamic preacher says men without beards cause indecent thoughts in other men because they look like women. Josh? Thoughts?
All I know is men without hats make people dance, but no, run that by me one more time. Men without beards do what?
This certain Turkish Islamic preacher is claiming that men who don't have facial hair are causing indecent thoughts in other men because they look too much like women. So this Turkish preacher, Islamic preacher, is basically saying, listen, if you don't have a beard, and you believe in God and you want to be a good steward of, you know, sexuality, like, you better grow a beard because all these men are getting attracted to other men because they don't have beards right now.
That's what it is. So
yeah,
every gay person I know, it's no facial hair that does it. That's what.
Yes, and I think if they all just grew beards, there'd be no gay people, according to this guy. Anyway, so that's it. We've solved it here. Very first episode.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, huh? So,
like, with you, bisexual people would be attracted to you because you have half facial hair.
Oh, shut up. I just shaved my face. They're like, man, Alex is pretty sexy, but kind of not. Maybe? I just recently shaved my mustache and the rest of my beard off, and I'm telling you, man, I look like 20 years younger right now. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. Ready for Scream 5, boys and girls. Thursday night, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo!
You can see it on opening night?
Probably, yeah.
I did Ghostbusters Afterlife the day before it came out. Like, they did like a preview at like 7 p.m. and I was there for that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but you are the Ghostbusters like super fan. Yeah, big. Yeah, Ghostbusters super fan. Like, if they did an episode of, like, because they used to do this, like super fan, whatever, you could be on an episode of that for sure.
Hey, I don't want to say it. I ended up with 2 ecto coolers from the contest.
I wasn't gonna rat you out, but he did.
Only like 95 people got them, and I got
and he got. Well, you're screwed now because guess what? Someone's gonna see this from High C, and you're dead meat, pal.
Oh no, they're gonna come like extract it from me.
They're like, hey, give me that damn briefcase. You're like, sorry, you're gonna have to pump my stomach because I already drank that shit, bud. So hey, I don't really have anything else to say about this Turkish Islamic preacher except for he's an idiot. And that's not how human sexuality works at all. And I think he needs to really look at his parish or whatever he's got going on there, because he might actually have, some legitimate, decent human beings that also happen to be homosexuals at his church.
Maybe he's just projecting like his own thoughts,
Yeah, like
he loves faceless men, facial hairless men.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like, well, she looks too much like that guy, like his rippling biceps and the way the sweat rolls down his, chiseled back and chest. Like, if he had a beard, I wouldn't be feeling this way.
I hate to do this, but it sounds like something Trump would have said, like.
Here we go.
I hear that it's the men without facial hair that attract other men, right? Does that sound fair? It sounds right to me. Something like that. It really does sound like something stupid he would say. And it's very homophobic and stupid. And I think that preacher is projecting some of his own inner thoughts.
Oh, absolutely. He's like the guy. He's literally like the guy who's like, well, I hate that. I don't like. You constantly talking about like that's dumb. I don't like that, but secretly like he loves it.
Like the people that go to like TV show like Walking Dead videos. I haven't watched this show since season 7. It's so stupid. Then why the hell are you commenting on a season 11 promo for an upcoming episode?
I just come here because I just want to tell you guys how stupid you are for watching it, enjoying things. I want to be here to spoil what you enjoy because I hate my life.
Spoiler alert, all you people that do that, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I'm here to spoil what you enjoy. That should be the comment in the YouTube thread. Headline number 2. A Las Vegas man is claiming to have stolen a truck with a head and other body parts inside, and it was just a total accident, just happenstance. So this Las Vegas man is claiming the reason that there was a head and other body parts inside this truck that he was driving was because he stole it, and the body parts were already in there before he stole the truck, right?
Michael Myers is somewhere on the side of the road like, motherfucker.
Yes. The suspect accused of killing a man was a victim of circumstance by stealing a vehicle that happened to have body parts, including a severed head, in the back. His Las Vegas defense attorney is claiming.
So Dexter was loading his boat from his truck,
Yeah.
And some guy stole his car when he was coming back for the arms.
He's like, I stole this car. Yeah, I stole it. Okay. Now the corpse and the heads and the arms and the body parts back there, that's on the guy who owned the car. Okay, that's not me. That just happened to be in here. I'm a victim of circumstance.
Jesus Christ, that's the
craziest.
Good.
That's the craziest story I've ever heard in my life.
It's good shit.
Speaking of like headless, bodies and cadavers and stuff. Real quick, if you guys watched HBO's The Jinx, Robert Durst, as of filming this, I believe Robert Durst, who was the person that was like not the star of The Jinx, but he was the focus of HBO's The Jinx. It's a huge documentary. Passed away yesterday, so kind of a sad deal. And he's well known for decapitating and dismembering his neighbor Morris Black in Galveston, Texas. When Robert Durst was dressing like a mute woman while hiding from allegations of killing his missing wife from the 70s. Robert Durst just died. The world just got a little bit better yesterday with his death.
Not to be mistaken with Fred Durst, whose career died about 20 years ago.
Yeah. And you know, when his career died, stock in red Yankee fitted baseball hats also died.
Have you seen the footage of Shaggy Two Dope from the Insane Clown Posse sneaking up behind Fred Durst at a concert and trying to drop kick him, and he misses by like that and falls on his ass?
Yes,
it's a real video.
Yes, I have seen it, and he totally misses. But if he would have landed that, he would have messed his back up so bad. Seriously, that would have screwed him up. Shaggy Two Dope was probably just 3 sheets to the wind while he had that idea, though. Absolutely.
Drop kick that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to throw this in earlier, but anybody that likes Dexter but didn't like the ending of the original series, you got to check out Dexter New Blood. They really, the guy that like wrote and produced the show for the first 4 seasons all the way up to the Trinity Killer, he left after the Trinity Killer with John Lithgow, which was like the last great season of the show. He produced and like wrote this new season, and boy, they really tied it up great.
Really?
Yeah, it was great, man. It was very emotional. It was a lot of fun to watch. Me and my wife binged it in pretty much a day after it finished. And yeah, it's if you're a Dexter fan and you didn't like the lumberjack ending, go check out New Blood. It's worth it.
When they ended Dexter, they're like, yeah, so we're just gonna turn him into Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like he's Wolverine now.
No, they're having a meeting. Like, we need something creative that nobody sees coming. And I want somebody to give me something nobody would ever see coming. We got to have shock value. Lumberjack?
You beautiful bastard. That's it. We're done. We can wrap this up. Let's go to lunch. Lunch, everybody. Lunch.
John Lithgow came back and filmed a very small cameo for this new season in a flashback scene. That's how much John Lithgow loved that character of the Trinity Killer. He came back and filmed like a little tiny, like 1-line scene, and it is so creepy. It's worth it. It's worth it.
John Lithgow. Now, there's a name from our childhood that, like, that guy had range. He was, when I was younger, you know, I saw Harry and the Hendersons. I think everybody saw it. He was the star of Third Rock from the Sun. He always played these, like, really lovable, you know, honest, wonderful characters. And then when I saw the movie Cliffhanger, all of a sudden, this wonderful, loving family man is now a money-hungry, I guess, terrorist that wants to, you know, take over this mountaintop where all this money is, I guess. I don't know. And the dude from Cool Runnings was also a bad guy. Whoever cast Cliffhanger wanted to ruin everybody that I enjoyed in an early 90s movie.
Well, dude, if you hadn't seen Cliffhanger and then watched John Lithgow play the Trinity Killer on Dexter, it would have ruined him for you too, man. He was so creepy. If you haven't seen Dexter, you gotta watch it, man.
I've seen Dexter. I haven't seen the entire series. I'll admit it. I've seen season what?
Season 4. That's John Lithgow's season.
Okay.
He is so creepy, man. That's your homework. That's your Trax News homework. I want a full report on Dexter Season 4 and John Lithgow's performance by Episode 3.
So, okay, wait a minute. So John Lithgow, is he like he's like another serial killer in that season?
He's the main antagonist, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I'll check it out. And you know what else we need to check out? The last headline of the very first inaugural episode of Trax News. All right. It's sad news. Big time sad news. A New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after over 2 decades. Christchurch, New Zealand is parting ways with its official wizard after more than 2 decades on the job. Ian Brookenberg Kamel made offensive remarks about women and his local government. So now his local government's tourism strategy, excuse me. So he's slandering women and the local government's tourism strategy. So he made $11,000 a year to perform acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services, okay? He's been on the payroll since 98, and I guess because this guy's, you know, an idiot and he decided to speak out, against women and the way that they're running the tourism part of their town. They're letting him go. He's going to be paid until December. Did you know, Josh, that there was a town that had an official wizard? And when he was doing, hold on, let me read this one more time. When he was performing acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services, what do you think he was actually doing?
Playing Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay, he had a Tanuki suit on.
The wizard, man, the movie.
Super Mario Brothers 3!
So they fired the wizard. Did they keep on all the warriors, or the wizards and warriors, or did they fire them too?
I don't know, but you know what? We are friendly with Ira Hayden now, and I think we need to contact his people and let him know that there's a job opening in New Zealand where the wizard master could be, hired.
Yeah, he's got the experience. So
in the name of Lolric, Prince of Elves, Demon be gone. Lolric, right?
Original wizard be gone.
Yeah, original wizard be gone. I need that 11,000 cash. That's crazy.
I want to know what the wizard ceremonies were. That would be fun.
What the hell was it? This guy is an idiot. He was getting $11,000 a year to do nothing, to play make-believe. He's in a fantasy world walking around in a robe with a big okay, so he was hired. He's been on the payroll since 1998. So basically what happened is what year did Lord of the Rings come out? 2001?
Yeah, 2001, I think.
Okay, so whoever in New Zealand, I think that's where Lord of the Rings were filmed, is in New Zealand, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's another strange parallel. So whoever the hell is the mayor or the whatever, whoever's in charge of this town in New Zealand, they must have just read the Lord of the Rings books, and he's like, we've got some extra money in the budget. We should really hire a wizard. Like, I think we need some wizardly acts done in this town. This is going to be a really good thing for the city.
No, see, what I think happened is they had another wizard on the payroll already.
Yeah.
And, that guy, ripped off his clothes, peace out, walked out.
Yeah, Antonio Brown was the wizard. And he quit at halftime.
Coming full circle.
That's what we call in the business a callback.
Callback, there you go.
I was going to say, so this guy is a complete idiot, though. I mean, he seriously was getting paid to do nothing.
Yeah.
Just play make-believe for the last, 3 decades. And because he must have thought he was just bulletproof, man. He's like, well, I'm the wizard around here. I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want. I've got this huge staff. I'm wearing sandals all the time.
Started believing his own hype,
Yeah.
If anybody fires me, I'll strike him down.
Yeah. How the hell? Okay. Here's my last question before we end the show. How in the hell, when places were in lockdown during the when COVID first happened and everybody's not making money, towns, everyone's making cutbacks, nothing can stay in business. People are losing jobs left and right. How did this asshole, this wizard, keep his job through all these lockdowns? They kept him on the payroll through all that, and now when he's an idiot and he says something stupid, now they cut him?
Right, that's what it
How the hell did he make it through the first time?
Maybe they just forgot they were paying him, man.
Yeah, dude, he's just like the guy in Office Space. They're like, well, turns out we fired him, in 1999, but payroll has just been cutting him a check every month, every 2 weeks. So we just fixed the glitch.
He cast a spell of forgetfulness on him.
Yeah, he cast the spell of the red swing line stapler. All right, Josh. Let's end the episode, man.
All right. Let's do it.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Not a bad episode. Not a bad inaugural episode, buddy.
Not bad at all. The
I'll
best inaugural episode ever.
I'll make sure I shave completely or grow my beard back completely. I'll go one way or the other, Josh. I don't want you to be conflicted anymore when we're doing episodes together. It's my fault that you feel this way. It's my fault.
Just have
yeah. So in the damn episode, end it, or I'm gonna fire you like the wizard in New Zealand got fired.
Thank you all for listening. Be sure to check out the channel, 80 Slasher Librarian. You can catch it past episodes of Slash Trax, future episodes of Slash Trax Review, Slash Trax News, all kinds of great stuff coming in 2022. I didn't mean to rhyme all that. be excellent to each other. I want to dedicate our inaugural episode to the amazing America's Dad, Bob Saget. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Saget, huge loss. And on that note, I was going to say, Josh, my household in the early 90s, Bob Saget owned 2 nights of the week in my house. He owned Friday night for TGIF, and he also owned, I believe it was Sunday night when America's Funniest Home Videos would come on. So Bob, I mean, seriously. And even Bob's reach on America's Funniest People when he got his friend Dave Coulier a job. So we watched basically anything Bob Saget touched, my family watched. So it's a huge loss. And he was a very funny, from everything I've read about him, he's a wonderful person, an even better family man. And he's going to definitely be missed. And it's a huge loss. So rest in peace, Bob.
Say goodnight, Alex.
Good night, Alex.
You can make people laugh, and it might not be your cup of tea, but you're doing something great for people. You know, laughing. That's why I'm doing it. It's not about money. If you're doing stuff to be famous, that's not the answer. You got to do it because you love it with all your heart.
It's Josh and Alex on the mic tonight. Warrior fuel and fun facts taking flight. From sports to horror headlines, we delight. Pro wrestling tales, we're keeping it tight. Jumpin' Jeff says, yep, that's no surprise. Tony the Spider laughs with open eyes. We break it down with style, no disguise. Action news that's hotter than the sunrise. Trax action news, we're in the groove. Sip that warrior fuel, watch us move. Facts and headlines making the room approve. Boy, this show never fails to improve. From baseball stats to horror flicks, Josh and Alex always got the mix. Pro wrestling legends look kid for kicks. Every headline got you transfixed. Tune in every week, you know what's next. Jumpin' Jeff and Tony, laughing in context. Got that energy, no need for pretext. Our news got flavor, always complex. Trax action news, we're in the groove. Sip that warrior fuel, watch us move. Facts and headlines making the room